Good morning. Part of our company's YouTube series is going to include me talking about frequently asked questions regarding office company policies and procedure. Our number one asked question around here is Ernest Money deposit checks and when they have to be deposited in our account. The State of Michigan Occupational Code states that we have 2 banking days from broker notification of acceptance by all parties for a contract for those funds to be deposited in our escrow account. Now I know the real world is a little different than that. Oftentimes you're going to take a check, write the offer, and then let negotiations commence. Once you get an accepted agreement, even if you haven't had it bottom lined as of yet, my suggestion is to come into the office, fill out a ledger form, and turn that check in at that point in time. You do need to note that it will be 10 days from that deposit to make those funds re-available again if for some reason the money needs to be refunded to our client. The next part of that procedure is when is it considered bottom lined? Now we all know that it often takes time to get all parties' signatures on a contract, but we try to press on with our home inspections and our contingencies. It's very important that we get those funds into the account as soon as all parties have agreed to the offer. Now, if they're not in the account and there's going to be a dispute with the contract, we are vouching that those funds are available for that contract, especially if the sellers state that they're going to try and keep those funds after a poor home inspection or a termination of the agreement occurs, etc. We've all been in those situations. So my best suggestion, as soon as everybody agrees to that contract, is just come in so that we can deposit the funds. If, after home inspection, the parties agree to terminate the contract, use a mutual release or a dissatisfaction notification of inspection, get all parties' signatures, and we will cut a check back from the date of the original deposit. If you turned in a cashier's check, we can do that within 24 to 48 hours because those funds were certified. Please note, I always suggest you ask every client when they're making a check out, especially a personal one, when those funds are going to be available. We don't want anybody bouncing a check, and we certainly don't want to bounce check fee against our account because we will have to turn that fee onto your client and they will have to bring the next form in cash. So, step 1, get the check, write the offer, hopefully everything comes together smoothly. Step 2, come into the office, turn those funds in, even if you're still waiting on bottom line acceptance. If you don't get bottom line acceptance and the parties walk away before that contract is finalized, we can refund that check within 10 days of when we deposit it. Once it is finalized is when all parties are going to have to do a written notification of termination. Also, say you have a contract that comes through and then for whatever reason you can't meet all the contingencies. When can you release those escrow funds back to your client? You will have to have a written termination signed by both parties involved on how we can release those funds. Most cases it's not a problem. All parties just sign the notification and we release the money as soon as we get it. However, if you do have a dispute, we do have to keep those funds in our account until such time we have notification from both parties that they've accepted it or notification from one of the parties that they're going to file legal proceedings against the other party to obtain those funds. Thank you, and look forward to another frequently asked questions.